Again, it's been discussed as a Megasite parcel for a long time. It's just the acquisition, the assembly, a lot of that stuff was, there really was no effort, no local dollars to do it until the state decided that, you know what, it's time to get serious about economic development, it's time to get serious about these megasites. We need to start working with these local units to say, hey, we understand you got a megasite, you know, what do you need to start preparing that like other states have done? There's been lots of different companies that have looked at the site over the last couple decades, and it just wasn't site ready for them, so they moved on to other places. So it's although it seems like it's happening all of a sudden, there's been a lot of that discussion going on, and now it's time to, now that we have Ford, a great American Michigan company that wants to be here and provide 3,000 jobs, it's time to you know, get the project moving forward.
When I went on council in 2000, that year Marshall's population was 7,461 people. In 2021, our population is down to 6,780. It's been a downward climb. In that interim period, we had Collins Aikman went bankrupt and took the plant down. Lear Corporation moved to Indiana. Eaton Corporation closed their facility in Marshall. State Farm Insurance closed. And there's others. Kimball Soup was there. We lost over 2,000 jobs. And you wonder why our population is decreasing? Because we don't have jobs here. This is a simple choice. It's about jobs. That's what's going to sustain the community down the road.
So there is some concerns about impact, right? Like, how are we going to absorb, you know, 2,500 jobs in our community? The only thing I would say is we've lost about that many over the last decade. I mean, we had major employers that left our community. I would say some people would argue that's probably the heyday of Marshall, right? When you had State Farm had their regional office here located in town. You had Eaton Corporation. There's some others actually that we've lost over time. You have to replace that. You know, cities function on property tax, and you have to replace that growth. Otherwise, you start to decline, and because services go up, the cost of everything. I mean, the price of fuel, right, costs more for you. It costs more for us to run our police cars, our DPW vehicles. All those costs that you incur as a resident, we incur too as a city. And you know, you just have to have new growth. People can argue what that growth looks like, right? And again, I would say, well, that's why we have a master plan. You know, that's where we're supposed to identify how we want to see our community grow. But once that's in place, that's what we're supposed to follow. That's our roadmap.